Son!
Jesus.
You wanna play some station?
Don't you mean PlayStation?
That's what I said.
Sure, Dad. Let's play some station.
Oh, yeah!
I had no idea how much my life was going to change on that fateful summer afternoon when my dad brought home a brand spanking new PlayStation. And while I was having all kinds of crazy adventures with that thing, little did I realize my dad was having some adventures of his own. 3 that I remember really well were Carnage Heart, Championship Bass, and the kicker, Spyro 2, because everybody loves Spyro. And there was also a NASCAR game, but if you're looking for compelling NASCAR commentary, then you're in the wrong place. Go watch Lemon's channel for that. Get all notions that this is a mech combat style game like Mech Warrior out of your mind, because according to the back of the box, Carnage Heart is for hardcore strategy gamers. And you know what? It's not kidding. Much like when me and my sister would play Monopoly and pretend like we knew what we were doing, Carnage Heart was one of those games that I'd mess around with when I was bored. Because hell, it was on the shelf, might as well. You want to know how complicated this game is? It came with a whole second disc with a half-an-hour long tutorial video complicated. If I looked at this in the store and saw a special tutorial CD included, I would have put it back on the shelf and checked out, I don't know, Blasto or something. I do like how the tutorial plays out like an old instructional video for your first day on the job.
Your enemy then executes its own battle plans, and battles occur when opposing forces meet.
It's retro corporate cringe, which is always better than modern corporate cringe. Buy upgrades, design your mech, assign production lines, assign squads, and send them to capture enemy bases to assert your dominance over Jupiter's moons. That's all well and good, but the big mechanic here is programming your own chips to decide how units behave in battle. This system was, and still is, utterly impenetrable to me. Man, I don't even know where to start. It's clearly an impressive system, and people that have the aptitude for it will have a blast, but I'm willing to bet most kids immediately went to the auto option, which isn't ideal. Even if I fully understood and could take advantage of this game's systems, I still don't think I'd like it very much. Having to watch every battle play out without skipping gets old fast, and the interface is just a few points above working with an Excel spreadsheet. When you're making a strategy game, be more stylized like Civilization 5, and less sterile like Carnage Heart. The music is pretty good. You've heard Maniac Dance if you've watched my channel before. Considering I never actually saw my dad play it, I'm betting he picked it up with the wrong expectations and lost interest pretty fast. Maybe he would have liked Carnage Heart Exa on PSP. You smell that? Smells like anime bullshit. What is it with fishing shows and games making it look like the most exciting sport ever? Unless you're casting out on a hydro thunder track, real fishing is about as exciting as reading a book.
Holy shit!
Do you have any idea how many damn fishing games there were on PS1? Exciting Bass, Action Bass, Bass Landing, Big Ol' Bass, Monster Bass, Dat Bass. I am a bit curious to go on a journey through some of these other titles and see if they're actual fun games, and not simulators like Championship Bass, because that's what it is, it's a simulator. It can be relaxing to pretend fish on pretend lakes, but can it be called fun? No, I don't think so. What I want is a fishing game that goes all out, just bazonkers ideas left and right, like yanking a fish into the air and smacking the hell out of it with your rod to wear it down. Man, I should learn to use Unity or something. I'd give the game industry a real kick in the bass. Can you believe the announcer fish-shamed me for my bluegill?
You caught a bluegill.
I'll have you know that I caught bluegill from my grandparents' pond all the time as a kid. They are an honorable fish, not like those largemouth sluts that get all the clout. And don't even get me started on catfish. Those guys are so hard up for a meal that they'll try to swallow your arm. I remember liking Championship Bass. Not quite enjoying, but I did like it. Every once in a while I would wait for my dad to get home and show him the huge virtual fish I managed to catch that day. But there was always this one spot with really deep murky water that would give me the willies whenever I got near it. That is absolutely terrifying to me. Whoever designed this lake is a real bass hole. Something you need to know about my dad is that he was a real tough guy, never afraid to get his hands dirty with a hard job. He could wire the electricity in your home, build a car, and weld like a pro. But shh, I'm gonna tell you a little secret about him. He was kind of a nerd, and all nerds love dragons. So every once in a while he would pop in the one Spyro game that he picked up for the family and have a good old time. And you know what? There's not a damn thing wrong with that. There are 3 lessons I learned from my father growing up. Never rent your furniture, do whatever it takes to get something done, and who cares what other people think about what you like. He was practicing you do you way before it was cool. There are so many problems in this world today that can get you down. So if you have a simple pleasure that sparks some joy in your life, fuck anybody that wants to judge you for it. Even if it's Sonic Adventure that you like. Hey man, not my scene, but you do you. I'm just happy that you're happy. Spyro 2 is a good game, by the way. I must have beaten it at least half a dozen times. Hey, give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna blow my dad's mind real fast. He doesn't play video games anymore, so he doesn't know anything about this. That's right, Dad, we're living in the future. Speaking of the future, I thought it might be fun to take a quick look at a modern game that I think my dad would like. The Hunter Call of the Wild is truly the kind of game that can only exist today. It has these lush visuals and atmosphere that would have been impossible 20 years ago. Weather patterns move through areas, turning bright sunny days into miserable mist and moisture. Seed pods and insects flit through the air and mess with your peripheral vision, making you wonder if it was the movement of some elusive prey. Tall grass gets flattened as you move through it, and the muzzle of a black powder rifle erupts in an ethereal cloud of smoke upon firing, as if announcing the departure of a slain target's spirit. By the way, did you know the warning call of a black-tailed deer is absolutely horrifying? Am I hunting a deer or a basilisk right now? Just like Championship Bass, the Hunter is more a simulator than a game, but it's one that works so much better thanks to the incredible visuals. I grew up doing a lot of camping with the Boy Scouts and reading books like Hatchet. Ever since, I've had a huge fascination with the wilderness. The Blair Witch Project kind of ruined that for a while, but let's not get into that. I know my dad will never actually play this since he's only just now considering picking up a basic computer, but if you have an awesome gamer dad and would like to get them something special for Father's Day, the base game gets really cheap on sale, just around $5. The real cost comes from a buttload of DLC, but it's cheap on sale too. It's no problem to pick and choose the stuff you're interested in. I got the Yukon Valley, ATV, and Smoking Barrels weapon pack, which is pretty much the wrath of God to anything short of an elephant. My first grizzly. I can barely contain my excitement. Me and my dad, we went through some hard times together, and unfortunately, like most kids, I didn't appreciate how hard he was working to keep us housed, fed, and still have enough left over for fun stuff once in a while. Like when he got me a PS2 for Christmas. That was one legendary Christmas. Now that I'm all grown up, I respect the hell out of the guy, and this video is my small way of honoring him. Happy Father's Day, Dad, and thank you for everything.